Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today I want to talk about something that we see very often. This is probably the number one thing with stucco repairs that we do. Now notice, okay, we're on the south side of a fellow's house. Now these folks, they call me, they say, Kirk, we got the stucco, it's buckling here. How come? Let me explain something, guys. We're in California. Now in California, as well as Arizona and most states in this country, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. The rain comes usually southwest, this way. Now this wall is getting hammered with rain. It's an 80-year-old house. So since it's an 80-year-old house, it's getting a lot of rain. And here's the most common thing with stucco repairs, guys. And most folks just panic, and I don't blame them because it looks really, really bad, but it's a common sense issue. Let me explain something here, guys. Okay, if we have these vents right here. Now these vents here, these are stucco vents, and they just have a screen here. They tear really easy. A kid rolling a bicycle, his pedal hits it, it rips it. A barbecue, a lawnmower, it rips it. There's a lot of holes in a lot of these guys because what they have here, these are stucco vents. You put them, when your paper is on it, you put the vent on like that, and you take the stucco to these right here. These are guides. That's where the stucco stops. If you're doing wood, you turn them around. Either way, if it's on the southwest side of your house, no matter where you are, probably in the country. Again, most of the rain comes southwest. The ones that come from the northeast are from the Arctic, and they are cold, but the majority, 80%, come this way, 90%. Now it hits this wall. What happens is the rain hits this wall, and it drips down, and it goes into these vents because they're not protected. And with the wind, we get some wind storms here, it just shoots the rain in here. And what happens? The mud sill. The mud sill could be pressure treated, it could be redwood, it could be all kinds of different things. But no matter what the wood is, guys, what happens when wood gets wet? It expands like a sponge. So when the wood gets wet, and this is a 70, 80-year-old house, so it's gotten wet hundreds of thousands of times. What's happening is you get this crack right here. You get the crack here. You get the crack here. And we'll show later on the crack there. Now, how you fix that is you insist if you're building a new house. Say, man, give me the louver vents. Louver vents. Now, what happens with these is, once we're going to break the stucco out here, guys, we're going to break it out from here all the way, and we're going to install all new vents. And what happens here, now the water hits here. Even if it's wind, it hits here and it just drips harmlessly out. And of course, you still got the bug screen back here. This is so no bees or wasps can make nests under the house. These are kind of cheesy, but they're better than these. These got these huge holes. Flies, bugs, still get in there. But with this, now you're stopping rodents, rats, raccoons, skunks. How'd you like to have a skunk under your house? Anyway, here's what the fella did. Now he took a hammer and he used brute strength. Now let me tell you something about brute strength and common sense or skill. Brute strength, he was pounding it out. Now, fortunately, this is an old house, and if you have a house that's built before 1980, usually it's studs, but we got lucky here and it's got a solid redwood siding, so he used muscle. And what happens when you use muscle? You push the stucco into the paper, and the paper's already seen better days because it's had 80 years of moisture. So what Jay's going to do, I'd say what we're going to do, but I hate using this thing. You kind of anyway, we got a special tip on here. It's a 1-inch tip. If you're using a 2-inch tip, good luck, guys. It's not going to work. If you're using a poker like they sell these, all you're going to do is put 1,000 holes. It's going to look like a dartboard. So get a 1-inch tip. Anyway, Jay's going to take this because he's like a surgeon with this thing. And he's going to break out all the way around this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have better paper than what they have here, guys, because this paper, you can't salvage paper with brute strength, guys. You have to have skill. And this, and they sell a whole bunch of these. So they got 10 different ones. You can get battery operated. You can get the electric ones. whatever you do, use one of these because you could salvage the paper. Why do we need the paper salvaged? So we can put the new paper under the existing paper. Why do we want a couple inches of wire? So that we don't get perimeter cracks like this, say a year from now. The new wire has got to crisscross the old wire or you're going to get that right there. Anyway, he got a lot of things going on here and I'm trying to talk about a whole bunch of different things at once. And the fellow said, gee, Kirk, while you're here, can you put cement in here? I said, we could, but you don't want that. This serves an expansion. You always want, they should, when they put concrete, they should put a piece of wood here, polyurethane, 100 different things, but do not lock it in. So it's locked in right now. It's locked in on the foundation. We're about to unlock it and leave that open. And if you really feel, gee whiz, I can't live with that gap, caulk it. So Jay's going to get busy. He's going to remove all this stuff here. And yeah, by the way, these, they don't sell them at my material yard. I went to Home Depot. Man, that's another story. I'll talk about Home Depot in a bit. But I thought right down the street, I was going to pick up some other stuff at Home Depot. And I thought right down the street is Westside Building Supply. That's where we get our stucco materials. And I thought, thank God for Westside, because you go in there, unlike Home Depot, when I was there, I thought, man, I better sharpen my blade when I walk in here. You have a lot of people there homeless, and don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing homeless because I grew up just as bad as all that stuff, but I thought, now can't there something be done about that stuff? I'm going to talk about that in a bit because when I'm putting all this together, it's so easy for me. My mind kind of wanders. I'm going to let it wander on that subject. Jay's going to break it down and we'll show you the next step. Alright guys, let me show you now. Jason has already done all the hard work, him and Dan. I was doing important stuff like having coffee with the owner. I want to point out something, guys. When you're breaking this stuff out, or when we are breaking this stuff out, now Jay's wearing a respirator, not a dust mask. He's wearing this ear protection. Why? Because I got tendonitis. I can't even go places because I can't hear out of this ear. And that's from using a hammer, chisel, and more importantly from stapling. I used to do 10,000 staples a day with the gun, a whole box. Union days, and he's wearing eye protection. Why? Okay, this got silica in it. Silica, when you break open stucco, it releases silica. Silica sand. It's a really fine sand. It's as harmful as asbestos. So if you guys think you're going to try it, I'd recommend you don't, because again, you need a respirator. And is there dust going in the air right now? Of course there is. Why don't I have a mask? Because I'm half dead anyway. I've been doing this stuff over 40 years, so a little bit more ain't going to kill me. But don't you guys have that attitude. Now, what he's got is here. He cut the wires and he cut the bottom. What we do now is we just take a hammer. Now you can use muscle, guys. You want to use muscle and power and all that? Now you can do it, guys. If you want to use strength, now's the time. But use finesse at first. I'll tell you something else, guys. Here's where you need some experience too. I looked at this when he broke it out, and I thought, oh, it's solid wood. That's not solid wood. This sill plate, mud sill, whatever you want to call it. This is a truss or truss.
Rim joist.
Rim joist. Okay, so we're going to take these guys out, and this is actually in pretty good condition. Why? Because most mud sills are pressure treated, like railroad ties. They're quickcrete, or they're pressure treated. The redwoods, they last a long time. Have I seen mud sills that are completely gone? Yes. No wood, no nothing, no mud sill. It's all gone. So you don't want to wait too long, guys. If you have water coming in and you know it's coming in, hire somebody like us or somebody else. I think to replace vents, I mean, one vent can take somebody 4 to 5, 6 hours. So be prepared to pay $400 to $600, guys. That's just what it is. Sometimes it takes a whole day to replace one vent, depending on the amount of stucco, how hard it is, and what they use, and things like that. And then it won't line up perfectly. So anyway, we're going to pop these vents in. We're going to get rid of all this stuff because I don't want to inhale it. So what Dan and Jerry and myself are going to do right now is we're going to pick up all this crap. I'm going to take a water hose and hit everything, hit the fence. I'm going to hit, get rid of all that damn dust because I'm the one that will be putting on the lath. I'm going to be shimmying under, and this is studs. This was the rim joist. It tricked me. So we're going to take our new paper and go underneath this existing paper as best as we can, because we are only as good as what we have to work with. Anyway, when we get to that next stage, we'll show you that too. Now we're at the fun stuff. We've installed the vents. We put a caulking all the way around it. I've hit this with weldcrete. That's a bonding agent. And we've hit this with weldcrete, another bonding agent. All we're going to do is this fun stuff now and plaster it. Now, since I can do this stuff kind of blindfolded, I wanted to talk about, this is 2 inches thick too, but anyhow, I want to talk about something that is odd. I want your opinion. Now, the other day, I was at my baby's house. We're in my teens, and she says, well, sweetie, where are you going to go? I said, oh, I got to go to the, I better not mention the name. I got to go to the hardware store. And she says, well, baby, there's a hardware store right here. And I said, well, shit, every time I go there, everything is locked up. I got to ask for permission to get this, to get that. I feel like a criminal. It's just not right. So, yesterday, I went to get these vents. They don't have these at Westside building materials. Everything at Westside is for stucco. So I went to the hardware store, and the weirdest thing, they were playing opera. And I thought, what's that about? And Jay said, well, they're playing opera because people are sleeping over there. And I thought, sleeping? Who wants to sleep over there? Because there's a lot of crime, man. I thought, yeah, I know. I'm not that far out of touch with reality. But I just started thinking about it, and I thought, now, how much are we spending? Now, this got nothing to do with stucco. How much are we spending to try ex-presidents and current presidents for so-called crimes? Is it millions, or is it billions? Now you take that money and we tell these people, like in Liar Liar, stop stealing, asshole. Now, can't we use that money for something productive, like the homelessness? Because the homelessness in my area is bad. Now, if anybody says, well, Kirk, what's your solution? Kirk's a stucco dude. I don't have a solution. I'm just talking because I can do this stuff blindfolded. And what I saw yesterday, it kind of made my heart heavy. I thought, dang, that's some wicked stuff, guys. People, it's just wicked. So I was just thinking about how much money is spent here and there that could be spent for other reasons and other helpful things. Now, I ain't into politics, so I don't want, I'm hoping nobody starts talking about politics here. I'm just talking. I'm only talking because I seen some stuff yesterday, and I thought, wow, made me scared to get out of the car. And now, granted, I'm a little familiar with some of that stuff because, yeah, my mom's from France. She just speaks English. We're on welfare. We're on welfare the whole time. And I'm not suggesting welfare for the whole country. Oh, that doesn't make you dependent. That doesn't do anything good for you. But I thought, now what's the solution? Maybe us stucco guys and you watchers can have a solution for how to fix that crazy problem. Okay, I just had to vent there because what I saw was absolutely crazy, and they said, yeah, get used to it because it's not going anywhere. I thought, really? Anyway, I'm done. That's got nothing to do with stucco, but I can do this stuff blindfolded, so it gives me something to talk about. What we're going to do is finish scratching this. I'm going to turn right back around and brown it. And then we're going to hard rubber float it, match this finish here. I'll show you how we match that finish, and I'll get off of crazy politics. We thought we would show you the last detail of this. Now, this is a Spanish lace or light lace skip trowel. And what I tend to do when I match this is I stagger it. I'll start here, then I'll start here. I'll start here, then I'll start here. This has well-creed, so it all sticks. Anyway, that's it. Stagger it. And earlier, Jay says, well, Dad, you know you're talking politics. I thought you hate politics. I said, I wasn't talking politics. I was talking homeless. And Dad says, yeah, he was talking homeless. We're like the Weasleys in that Harry Potter movie. We don't talk politics because we're way too honest for that stuff. They chew us up and spit us out, so we stay away from politics. Anyway, guys, you see how this is going. This is a piece of cake if you know how, and we know how. Because how can you fix something unless you know why it broke in the first place? One more little thing right here. Come on now. Here we go. Boom, boom. Spanish lace. Then you gotta knock it down. Alright guys, my name is Kurt, Jason on the camera. Dan messing around here somewhere. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Alright folks, we want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoy the videos that we put out, please like and subscribe so that we can keep making these videos for everybody. And as always, from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.